Hi guys, I'm here with Elaine Somerville. How would you describe yourself?
I'm a medium, psychic medium. I work with energy. I'm also an intuitive medium, Reiki healer, Reiki master, spiritual life coach.
I mean, do you call it a gift? Have you always had the gift, so to speak? Or?
I've always had the gift. It is a gift. It is a gift, but it can also be a double-edged sword.
Yeah.
You do have. It is a gift. I've always had it. I've been born with it. I do have memories of being in my cot, talking to spirit, looking around. And my mum and dad used to say, when are you going to sleep? Because come at night time, I'd come alive because I'd see lights.
Right.
I'd see all of that. But my first clear memory, I was maybe about 8 or 9 years of age. And at the time, I just looked at it as my left side of my brain taught my right side of my brain. My left side saying, walk this way, you're going to see someone. And the right side saying, right, are you sure? And it's kind of following that instinct. And sure enough, I was walking home from school and I'd said to my mum, come and walk this way. And we walked that way and sure enough, there was the person. And the person that I seen lived 10 miles away and there was no reason for them to be there. So always had that that intuition. I would know who was going to be knocking at the door, if it was going to be a man or a woman. Phone calls, I'd know when the phone was going to ring. Bills. If I've got a bill coming or I forgot about anything, I always get the feeling, it's going to be dropping in the door. And sure enough, there it comes.
Right.
So it can happen in many ways. But on the other side of it, but it is a gift, when you're reading for people. I used to give messages to people when I was at school and I didn't realise. When you give messages to people, yes, there's life guidance in it, but it should also be a healing experience as well.
Yeah. So tell us about some of the readings, some specific little bits, kind of.
Well, one reading, I don't remember all readings.
I'm not
But
surprised
there's
you've done
some,
thousands.
I have, but some do stick in my mind. One time I had a phone call off a gentleman. He said, would you be able to fit us in today for a reading? And I said, oh, not really. I wasn't doing readings that day because my daughter had a hospital appointment. So he says, I really want a reading from you. And I could feel, I want to say, a desperation in him. So I says, well, if you can come for 1, I says, but I need to be finished by 2. He said, okay. So we came, and I came and was sitting, and I was saying a lot of things to him. I says, your grandfather's behind you. I says, by the way, I says, he tells us that you don't have cancer. And the gentleman said, I have. I says, you have? He went, yeah. I says, hasn't been diagnosed? He went, no. I says, in your stomach? He went, yeah. He says, it's cancer. I says, well, I'm not feeling that. I says, I'll be honest. I says, and he's telling us that there's no cancer there. I said, there will be a camera going in. I says, and something being taken out. I says, but there'll not be a cancer. And there was a lot more said, and at the end of the reading, it kind of all fell into place for him. He was so focused on he'd had cancer. He was so focused on, I'm not being well, it's got to be cancer, that's all it can be. And I finished the reading, and when I finished the reading, he said, well, thanks very much, Elaine. He says, but, he says, I'm actually going to the hospital now, he says, to get the result. He says, I'm having something taken out. He says, and I'm getting results today. I says, well, give us a text. I says, I won't be able to take the call, but send us a text, tell us the results. And I was sat at the hospital with my daughter, and there was a text come through off him, and he actually said, thanks very much, Elaine. He says, I don't have cancer. It was an ulcer.
Right.
And he said, I don't have cancer. He says, there's no cancer there. I said, well, your granddad's not going to lie to you.
So how would his granddad have known that? Because they're kind of spirits of clairvoyant kind of thing, they see in the future. Or...
Well, when spirit are around you, they know, because, when our body, our vision is limited, our sensing's limited. It's like all I can see at the moment is what's in my bedroom, not in my bedroom, in my room, and I can see out my window, and that's all I can see. I can't see down the street. I can't see this way, I can't see anything. But when you're spirit, you don't have a physical body, you don't have a boundary. So there's no limits on what you can do. There's no limits on where you can see how far in the future. And if it is a situation that is really holding you back, on that situation, the man's marriage was going a little bit funny because he was that focused on, I've got cancer. He got into his mind that he needed to push people away to deal with it. So his marriage was on the verge of splitting. You know, and it all turned around for him. So spirit, energy, whichever way you want to look at it, is going to give you that answer because it's going to be there. Because our lives are planned out.